This is the story. I thought instead of just freestyling, I thought I'd teleprompt the shit out of today. So I'm going to teleprompt the shit out of today. So sorry I'm not looking at you, but I'm looking at my teleprompter. I've been buying a whole bunch of toys. Okay, so this is called Rising Above, a life of change, perseverance, and triumph. Hey, welcome to my channel. Today I want to share a deeply personal story with you, a story of resilience, change, and the relentless pursuit of betterment. It's not an easy story to tell, but I believe it's important because no matter how low we fall, there's always a way to get back up. Sometimes we don't just get back up, but we rise higher than we thought we'd get. Let's go back to where it begins. I didn't have what you'd call a traditional path through life. I dropped out of high school in grade 9. At that time, I didn't see the point in staying in school. Like so many young people, I was searching for my identity, my place in the world. By the time I was 17, I found my way into the workforce. From 17 to 20, I was highly successful in my jobs. I discovered I had a natural drive, and for a while, it seemed I was on top of the world. Yeah, I can remember being 18, and here I'm going to freestyle for a second because I can't stop myself. I was 19, sorry, and I had just turned. I moved back to Vancouver from Vernon. I'd lived on the streets for a couple of months with so another homeless story. But I moved back to Vancouver. I got a job at a place called Grip Crunch Fasteners, and I sold pneumatic air guns at a company vehicle. Man, I was making like 5K, 6K a month at 19 years old. That's 32 years ago. I've always had a way to get to the next level. But life has a way of testing us. For me, that test came in a form of bad decisions. By the time I was 21, I was on a destructive path. That's when I discovered something about myself that would shape much of my journey. I knew this for a while. That's when I discovered I have an addictive personality disorder. They call it alcoholism. Now the woke or the left or the government calls it the substance use disorder. Now they're calling it alcohol use disorder. They're going to start calling it sex abuse disorder. They're going to start calling it eating abuse disorder. They used to call it anorexia nervosa, bulimia, alcoholism, addiction. Now they're just using disorder so that they can give chemicals, drugs to fix the disorder. It's not a disorder, it's a disease. Once it took a hold of me, it was relentless. Drugs and alcohol became my escape, my coping mechanism, and ultimately my prison. Over the next 2 years, I was in and out of jail and hospitals, feeling lost, angry, and hopeless. Recognizing, accepting this part of myself was both terrifying and liberating. It meant I had to confront it head on. And if I ever wanted to take back of control of my life. Then when I was 23, something happened that changed my life forever. I was stabbed, and I died, at least for a moment. That moment, hovering between life and death, forced me to confront my choices I had made. I woke up to the reality that I was squandering my potential. It took a couple of months more. I left the hospital that day and walked into the pub and had some beers. And it was 2 months later that I changed. At 24, I made the hardest decision, but the most important of my life. I got sober. I won't lie to you, sobriety didn't come easy. It was a daily battle, but it was a battle worth fighting. It's been a daily battle. I haven't had a drink for almost 29 years. Slowly but surely, I began to rebuild my life back when I was 24. Within just 4 years, my life had transformed in ways I never imagined. I became a I got an opportunity to get onto. I got on rosters in professional football, tryouts. I got tryouts. Tryouts is huge. I got opportunity to be do Madden 2002 with the football game. I did some scripting, some stunts. It was unbelievable. Something I thought was completely out of reach. I also found myself managing one of the largest live music venues in Western America, the Commodore Ballroom, run by the House of Blues. It was a whirlwind of a success, and for a while I felt unstoppable. Working at the Commodore Ballroom gave me some of the most incredible memories of my life. Let me share one of the funniest and most surreal moments with you. One night, I got to meet one of my childhood icons, Tommy Lee. He was performing at the Commodore under his new album, Methods of Mayhem. Now, I've met many celebrities and professional athletes in my career, but every so often, there's that one person that makes you feel like a nervous teenager, and Tommy Lee, he was the person for me. I was standing there starstruck, thinking, oh my God, Tommy Lee, right in front of me. It was like being 15 again, sitting in my room thinking, I'll never get a chance to meet someone like this. And yet, here he was. As part of my duties that night, I had to do some personal security for him and even locate a few ladies to perform on stage with him for a while he tore up the ballroom with his performance. It was wild, chaotic, and unforgettable. That night reminded me of how far I had come and being a high school dropout for standing shoulder to shoulder with someone I idolized as a kid. But life has a way of humbling us. At 29, I broke my back. The injury required major surgery and forced me to walk away from everything that I worked so hard to achieve. It was devastating. I felt like my dreams had been ripped away from me and I didn't know what to do next. Instead of letting the injuries define me, I found a new purpose. I started operating a group home, and for 21 years, I provided a safe, supportive environment for at-risk youth. Over that time, I housed 976 young children between the ages of 11 and 18. Wow, it just still blows me away when I think of it. It was some of the most meaningful work. It was all of the most meaningful. It was some of the most meaningful work I've done in my life. Now I walk the streets and talk to homeless people and try to help them get into recovery. Check my other channel out. But the challenges didn't stop there. In 2008, I was prescribed OxyContin for chronic pain resulting from my spinal issues. It was meant to help, but brought me back into a place of physical dependence. I wasn't the person I had been in my 20s, homeless and hooked, but I felt trapped in a different kind of struggle. I took my prescriptions as directed, but it still felt like a shadow hanging over my life. Then, in 2019, my world was shaken again. I was involved in 2 serious car accidents just 10 days apart. My pain intensified and my medication dose was tripled. This time, I had to make a heartbreaking decision. I give up my work operating my group homes, but there was one boy, a young boy with autism, who I couldn't give up on. He had been placed in my care and needed me. You know, that boy, he was 11 years old. The government placed him in my home. Well, they didn't place him because I had the ultimate choice what children I took and which I didn't, and I never judged. And so this boy, he moved in with me. I'm not going to talk about it because I could tell you stories, but the government would sue the shit out of me. They'd rip my bank accounts open and take it all. I don't know. I'm trying to look into that because I've got stories, man. The government, man. Quick takeaway. Residential schools were started. They closed, and when they closed, foster parents became huge. Group homes became huge. They changed residential schools to foster homes, and you do hear foster parents from time to time, abusing kids, sexually abusing them, getting them hooked on dope, doing this, doing that. But you have to remember back to the residential schools. There were a lot of really good people that worked in those places. There were, and I'm reminded that by some of my friends that are Native, so that I don't go crazy, because I ran group homes for the government, which is I wasn't religious. What was the difference? Anyways, going back to this, my boy, I adopted him. He's now just a month away from graduating high school. Watching him grow and succeed has been one of my greatest joys, other than my own biological son. After stepping away from group homes, I found myself at a crossroads. I had to redefine who I was, and I wanted to do it with my life. That's when I made the decision to go back to school. I took all the experience I had gained over the years, every struggle, every lesson, and turned it into something new. Today, I'm a family and civil mediator, a rostered professional in Canada. I'm also an advanced crisis negotiator, helping people navigate their toughest moments and find a way forward. As I said yesterday in my vid, it's not that I like Trump or don't like him. He's a useful thing for me because there's a lot of people that don't know how to deal with people like Trump, and those are the people that call me. People like Trump don't call me because they're so narcissistic. They think they can do anything, pull off anything. So I work with the people that have difficult time speaking for themselves. My life has been anything but predictable. It's been full of ups and downs, swings and shifts, but there's one thing I've learned, and it's this. Every time I've fallen, I found a way to rise higher than before. Perseverance isn't about failing or falling. It's about getting back up every single time. So why am I sharing this with you? Because I know I'm not alone facing life's challenges. We all have struggles, our moments of doubt, and our darkest hours. But I'm here to tell you that no matter how far you have fallen, you can rise again. And not just rise, you can soar. If my story resonates with you, if you've ever felt like giving up and you want to remember this, you are stronger than you think. Life will test you, but it will also reward you in ways you can't even imagine. Thank you for taking the time and listen to my story. If it's inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Together, we can remind the world that no matter how tough life gets, there's always hope. And there's always a way forward. Oh, my words made me cry. Listen, friends, I'm ungrateful SOB. I'm at day 15. And I'm at day 15, and 2 days ago, I had a relapse, not on pain meds, but I had a relapse with food. I lost 8 pounds in like 9 days. I lost 8 pounds. And then 2 nights in a row, I couldn't sleep, and I was all anxious, and guess what I did? I ordered a large pizza one night, and then the next night I ate a second large pizza, those fucking pizzas. I got 2 of them. And then I got this paunch. I got fat really fast. It's not fat. You can tell, like yesterday in the video, if you look at my paunch, it's just like, it's like I'm skinny here, like I've lost all this weight here, but it just paunched out right here. Anyways, hey, do you like my mic? I bought these things. They're like wireless pro mics. They're really, really expensive. And that water's really, really cold. Yeah, it's really, really cold. But I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do it for again. I just can't do it for too long. I'm just too, it's too sore. I'm too sore, and my body is too, my central nervous system is going like, yeah, if you've gone through the Suboxone thing and, you know, you've been taking opiates or pharmaceutical grade heroin for almost 2 decades and you quit abruptly and you're on day 14, your central nervous system, like everything is in pain. It's just heightened a bit. I look forward in a couple of weeks for it to calm down and get back to my base. Everything's a bit heightened right now. But that's what happens when you get into some car accidents and the doctors decide, instead of just giving you the medication that you're on, we'll just give you triple. Just triple. I still can't believe it's doing 150 milligrams, 160. I mean, I think that there was one point where I had 8 footballs. Footballs are notified on the street as 20 milligram oxys, at least in Canada, what they're called. That's what they're called. Okay, are you ready, friends? We're gonna set this for 30 seconds. And I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna step in. I hope this mic sounds better. Holy shit. Holy cow. Is his cold. I think I'm going to start doing this 2 days. Okay. Ow, my feet are so in pain. Anyways, friends, I'm Limp Bizkit. I'm out. I'm not Limp Bizkit. I'm Drew Coover, and I hope you're having a good fucking day. I'm gonna try to make mine better.